Hi guys, Gijoe here, and welcome back. This episode today is going to be dealing with printing one of Siredblood's Bloodbath maps, version 2.8. It is the latest map, and I need to get this printed for this gathering I'm having here in about 3 weeks. So we're going to go in here, and I'm going to kind of show you my step-by-step process on how to get this done and what it costs, the materials I use, and all those kinds of things, okay? So we are at Office Max here in the Atlanta area, and let's go inside and take a look, all right? Okay guys, here we are inside of Office Max, Office Depot. It's all the same, but it actually says Office Max outside the building. So first thing we do is we grab their little sample booklet here, and you see they have different tabs. I'm looking for banners, so I flip to banners, and I'm looking for the Scrim vinyl. This is an outdoor banner. It's called Scrim vinyl. As you can see it on the back, it's kind of got those little dots perforated, I'm not sure, but this is a pretty good weight, but yet you can still curl it up and roll it, which is what I want, so I can roll it and put it in a tube for easy storage. And we'll look at prices on this here in a second. And so what I did was I had the file and I brought it to here and on my flash drive, and they popped it in. You want to make sure that they do have Photoshop, okay? And I learned trial and error. The first time I tried this, I think I PDF'd the Photoshop document or the TIFF or something, and I PDF'd it and then tried to print, and then they couldn't print over the network, and it kind of messed up the colors. So the questions I would recommend you asking is, one, do they have the availability to open up this in Photoshop? You want that to be yes, so it should be open in Photoshop, and then you want them to be able to print over the network to their printer, which is going to be over there, okay? And this is an out-of-box size, but I'm having them put it on a 4x8 roll of that Scrim vinyl banner. That way it doesn't clip off any of these edges. So there'll be a white border all the way around, since this is not actually 4x8. And then I'll simply cut off that. But another mistake I made is I had them print this on a 3x6 roll, and it actually cut off a little bit of the bottom of this. You know, it cut off a little bit. Not enough to make gameplay an issue, but you know, cut off some of the stuff down here at the bottom. And like, I basically had no waterway underneath South Africa because all that was cut off. So I would recommend printing on a 4x8 sheet of the Scrim vinyl outdoor banner. All right, so let's get this process started, and now I'll come back. And here we are printing the map. So a couple things to keep in mind when you're printing this map. You want to print straight from the PSD Photoshop file. If you PDF it to send it over, this is what happens. You get weird distorted colors like orange land and turquoise water. But that is what it should look like. So we'll get this thing printed up and show you the next step in the process. Okay guys, so I've got all the fat trimmed off of here, and all I did was I simply used a pair of scissors and I cut it off. Of course I did it freehand. If you want to put a ruler up to the edge and do that, you can. But the Office Max, where I had this printed, they did not have a machine long enough to cut this long 70-inch edge, so they wouldn't cut it. So I said, no big deal. I freehanded it, and I mean, I guess if you put a ruler to it, you could probably tell, but I mean, it looks good enough for me. It looks very, very nice. Nice and clean lines. There are no white edges, which is what I wanted. So the map is done. Now all I have to do, the next thing, which I won't show this process because I've done this before, I think, but I'm basically going to take this can right here of Minwax polyacrylic, and I'm going to spray this over and I'll probably do 2 or 3 coats, and just to make sure that, as Sired says on his video, it needs to be water-based, and it is the crystal clear finish, ultra fast drying, and I did clear satin. And so this is what I did with my other vinyl maps to put that protective coating on here so you can slide pieces around in chips and all that, and it won't scratch the surface at all. So so that's kind of that. A couple things talking about price, and if you go into Office Max, if you choose to print this map or a map similar, you know, Grasshopper's map, which I printed that, I've got it sitting over there as well. If you print it at Office Max, it's going to run you probably, I think the original pricing for Scrim vinyl is about $80 to $90. And if you look at my receipt here, you can see I've got the 69 here. Let's see here, 69.86. Oop, not in the camera. 69.86. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then a 14.97. So that total was $85, right? So an $85 map. However, they had a coupon sitting right there on the counter, and I said, "Can I use this?" And they said, "Absolutely." So they gave me 20% off, and I think they threw in a little bit extra because it took a while for them to print this. They had some problems with their printer there for a second. So I essentially got this map printed for 55 plus 12. What is that? $67. I'll take that. That's a great price. So, you know, if you're not in a hurry, you might want to kind of watch out for some coupons you see there. I think Sired has said he's even got them up to 40 or 50% off, which would make this map a total steal. But for me, I went in willing to pay the 85 bucks for this, especially considering that I had paid $250 for a couple of those on those PVC sheets over there. So $85 map, I was stoked. But to see that I got it for essentially what, 55 plus 12, $67, very, very happy. So a couple other considerations I forgot to mention. I think in the previous video or beginning of this video, I mentioned that make sure you get it printed on 42-inch Scrim vinyl. That will work, or I had this printed on 36-inch Scrim vinyl because this file is 32 inches wide, or high, I guess, depending on which way you're looking at the map. So it's 32 inches this way and 70 inches this way. So you want a roll that is wide enough to print like this. So originally I thought they only had 24-inch rolls and 42-inch rolls. That's why I was looking for a 42-inch roll. But the shop I went to today said they had 36-inch rolls, which was perfect because I had about 2 inches of white border on each side. So hopefully this helps, guys. This map is fantastic. I will not show you the coding process here. Sired has a video out. You can watch him on that. But I just wanted to kind of show you my printing of, this is the Bloodbath version 2, 2.8 actually. This is the map that is going to be used at the 2019 Bloodbath in September out in LA. And just to show you a few of the cool things here, you've got this impassable mountain pass. Of course, the Himalayas here. Then you also have this here. And this takes up a zone. So like if you're in Novosibirsk, you want to move to Kansu, you'd move one into here. And then the next move, you'd move one into there. And that would only be infantry. So a tank can't go through there. But there is a little pass right through here. So you can get through there. But it kind of takes away Russia being able to just easily send down tanks all the way through here down to Szechuan or what have you. And it is impassable by all units other than infantry and strategic bombers. So strategic bombers can fly over and infantry can go through this pass. However, they have to step in one and then another movement to step out. So it takes 2 movements to get through there. Some other things about this, you can see some of his oil icons, which are pretty cool. And just be watching his video for that, on how the oil icons work. I don't want to spoil anything there. course, I think one of the biggies is the Trans-Siberian Rail that goes from Moscow all the way over here to Amur. All right, he'll have a video on that as well. You see the convoys, of course, which are out of box. There's some shipyards here, which essentially means that if you see a shipyard marker, you can have, you can build a capital ship here regardless of whether or not you have a major industrial complex. So, like for instance, if you look down here in Australia, since there's not a shipyard marker, you cannot build a capital ship on your minor industrial complexes. You would have to increase it to a major, pay for that, and then build. But he'll talk about that sure on his video, I'm sure. The Lend-Lease icon is a new icon of his. I'm sure he'll go over that in the video as well. And he has some cool South America rather, house rules to get South America in play. And, you know, the thing I like about his Bloodbath rules is that the way his rules are, the game could end on any space on this map. It doesn't do the typical out-of-box stuff. Like we had a game end on Crete, right? Sire said he had a game end on Fiji, down here. He needed that island to get a point, and so he had a game in there. We had a game in on Norway. I think YouTube Wars Season 1, we had a game in on a Battle of Norway. And this last game we had ended right here in Morocco and Algeria with Dutch Lancaster taking out the American forces right there. I mean, that's what I love about this. It's not just, it puts the entire map into play, not just certain sections of, you know, Europe, Berlin, Moscow, etc., you know, China coast, what have you. So anyways, hope you guys hope this was helpful. And cool thing is I had to get this map printed up fairly quickly because I've got some special guests coming in here in about a week and a half for a little Bloodbath rule play time, and we'll maybe shoot some video when they get here and introduce you to those guys. But hope you guys enjoy. I hope this was helpful to you, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe because it definitely encourages me to make more videos. Thanks, guys.